Well, welcome to the Stanley Street Social Podcast. My name's Alex Clements. I'm here by Carlton football supporter Luke Plapp. Welcome, Plappy.
Thank you, LB. Maxi took the absolute piss out of Pitto on the weekend. Dominant display. And, we couldn't get the job done. We had a massive head start and got ran down.
And none other than Melbourne Football Club captain. 250 games to his name. Max Gawn.
You're wearing the T-shirt.
I got the T on.
Those watching on YouTube. The YouTube's going, isn't it?
The YouTube's going.
Yep. How do I find that?
Stanley Street Social.
That's all I have to type in.
That's all you have to work it out.
That's pretty easy.
You'll see, all the episodes now, because they're all either recorded online or in person. So
we're tech savvy.
YouTube's up and running. Instagram's up and running. The pod's getting some momentum.
Pod's going.
Yeah.
But no, we did win. We won. Those that are the AFL supporters on the pod, D's beat Carlton. We're down by 44. Fifth graders comeback in the D's lifetime. So glad to do that against your Blues, Plappy. That's what made it even sweeter.
For those that weren't watching, the Blues are up by how many points, Maxi? 43. What happened at halftime?
Not much, to be honest. We were cool, calm, and collected the whole way through. We gave them a head start. They played the football that we knew they were going to play, and we sort of let them play that way. Without boring everyone, Carlton like the ball. They like to dictate what happens, so they want the ball to go down the line to Jacob Wiedering. And we all week are like, let's avoid Jacob Wiedering. But they're very good at making sure that we kick it to Jacob Wiedering because they defend other parts of the ground. So then we were also getting beaten by Cripps and George Hewitt in the middle. So we had to even that up and then try to avoid Jacob Wiedering.
So there was no
no rev up,
magical rev up.
No need, no for a rev up. Some people don't even respond to a rev up. So why waste them?
Is the rev up done?
Rev up's not done, but the fact that we came back with our fifth graders comeback with no rev up.
Imagine what happens if you got into them.
What do you reckon we can come back from 80?
Maybe. At least you've got the threshold down pat now.
Yeah. He's saving his rev ups.
What, if Plappy, talk us through your rev ups of your career so far? Rev ups and sprays.
They come from usually the Aussie DSs, actually. I think it's a Aussie mentality. Lancaster was always one of the best in Ineos. Dempster wasn't a rev up, more motivational, inspirational kind of guy. And Heyman likes to throw them in when they're needed with a nice bit of swearing and go get the job done. So the Aussies get into it. The Italian DSs and those don't really use them so much. But I mean, I'd get around playing good footy or cycling if I was able to wear casuals to a race and look as baller as Maxi and the boys did.
I'd imagine you get a rev up from the track coaches.
Yeah, your pre-TP was always the good ones from Timmy Decker. They were like 4 guys sitting on the start line and he gave you a massive rev up. They were always good fun. Welsford was probably the best, actually. Came in-house from Welsford. He was the most passionate.
Yep.
Do the Italians, the Europeans understand if, say, a Heyman or a Dempster is giving them a pep talk?
I think they understand the swear word part of it.
Maxi, for what Plapp was referencing before, you rocked up in casual kit, NBA style.
And we're down by 40 at quarter time, so it wasn't a great start to that new rebrand. But no, that's us for the year.
Whose idea was it?
We're signed, sealed, delivered. It was a collective. We've been pushing it for a while, and then they finally came back to us and said, there's a chance we can get it done. Last week we did it for travel for the first time. So we got on the plane in casual gear, and Western Bulldogs were actually in the lounge in their polos and saw us all rock up in casual. So that was pretty cool. We lost that one though. But no, we had some pretty cool kits. CJ, Cozzy, I wore a tank top. Keen to explore what I'm going to wear. I was going to wear a Sedal dress shirt that I've just got my hands on from actually the lovely people Pro Kick Club.
Yes, you got a box of goodies this week. I got a box
of goodies, including this Uno X hat.
For those on YouTube, we'll see an Uno X hat.
I am a Uno X supporter, although they're wearing thin on me because they're not getting results. But I've got a Sedal dress shirt, so I'm going to wear that potentially this week.
You're going to wear it game day?
I think so.
And did Ed Langdon rock up on a bike, did I say? That was elite.
He did. He did.
Good man.
He kept the Giant, the team at Giant extremely happy.
When are we going to get him like a Propel or something though to rock up on?
What did he rock up on?
I'm not sure. Not sure it was high performance gear.
Nah, this one was his TCR. Okay. It wasn't his retro.
Okay.
I don't think his retro is giant friendly.
But in all seriousness, did it actually feel any?
It was pretty cool. Ideally, you want to enjoy your work as much as possible. I get there's elements of game day that are very serious, but most people perform well when they're cool, calm, collected, and they feel like they belong. And it's a sense of fun, a sense of belonging, and you don't want to confuse fun with seriousness, and I get that, but this was something that I don't think was going to make us play bad. It may have. That could have been the first quarter, but I don't think this is going to affect the scoreboard, and it could affect sponsorship. Like, it could really skyrocket how many eyes are on the Melbourne Football Club pre-game now.
Yeah. So there could be like Louis Vuitton brand deals coming in.
But they're also like, we're walking past our sponsor wall. Melbourne Football Club's getting more traction with Instagram and YouTube and whatnot. Channel 7's getting the same. Will Melbourne get more Channel 7 games from this? There's a lot that goes into that. And there will be teams that follow, I'm sure. I mean, Hawthorn are all about fun. So I feel like Hawthorn will be following us real quickly. I can't wait to wear a full cycling kit. Not like
Plappy skin suit.
Not like race kit, like off the road kit.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to tee up our friends at Pro Kit Club to get full Astana tracksuits. That's what I'm waiting.
You want Astana?
Yeah.
I want Uno X. Uno X is a bit bright though. So is Astana.
So is Astana, light blue. Plappy, where are you? What's the latest?
I'm in Sierra Nevada, 2,400 meters above sea level, just above Granada. It's quite beautiful up here, actually. It's chilly, but yeah, ready for 3 weeks of altitude camp to lose some weight, find some form, building into the next racing block.
Is that long? 3 weeks?
Standard. That's like typical. Yeah.
Did you did you listen to the George Bennett interview?
I did when I was running around the 400 meter track yesterday. Chucked it in the ears. Was very, very good. Flowed well, and George is a good man. He used to have his own podcast, and they said that he could never make himself available for it, but he was very good for us.
He found us one.
Yeah, he was exceptional.
He found us one. Boy, he found me one.
The
Brady Gilmore.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Did you get on that?
He found me one. He found me one.
Just for reference, Wednesdays are going to be for interviews.
Yep, and we got some guests.
Mondays for news, Wednesday for interviews.
That's putting pressure on the day you drop that. What if it's accidentally Thursday?
I mean, technically last week I dropped the Monday news show on Tuesday. Didn't quite sneak it in.
We're recording currently Monday nights. This is a tough gig for you to get this up pre-midnight.
Technically, if we nail technically, it's good.
Okay. It'll be around Monday night and around Wednesday night.
Could be Monday European time.
Yes, could be Monday European
but
time.
there's a good schedule of guests coming.
Yes, we got a couple of locked and loaded. Talking to my men on the ground. I've got a few on the ground, both Australia and overseas.
There's been whispers of these guys like for many years now.
And Plappy's doing wonders as well, talking to the peloton.
Exactly. Let's start with Catalunya, stage 1. We were talking about this last week. I think last week we went live just before that. Plappy, it's the windy, windy roads of Costa Brava down your old neck of the woods. Ineos were controlling early, which felt a bit like, and this is kind of a bit of a trend throughout the week, Ineos controlling a bit like the Team Sky of old. And it was, again, one of the longest sprints in the world that everyone went early on.
Yeah, it's one of the toughest stages to get right, I would say. The sprint lead-outs start with 40k to go, and a very long and windy Costa Brava coast to navigate before the final sprint. The breakaway was very strong, actually, and a break always has a chance on those roads, given how windy it is. And in the end, with the last 10k, you thought the GC boys were going to sprint it out the way they were controlling, and Jonas thought he'd take it upon himself. And we basically got a GC sprint plus Gawn. So the bonus seconds were up for grabs early from the GC boys.
Dorion's gotten a lot better with this transfer.
Transfer of the year?
Or Tobias Lund Anderson says hello. That's close though.
But Dorian's got a fair bit to his name now, especially after the last week.
Dorian does. He reminded me of Jayco's own Vendrame when he was at his previous... Where was he? Was he at the Decathlon? I feel like I was. Where was Dorian?
Decathlon.
I feel like he was at the Decathlon.
Yeah, I think so.
He reminded me of like a Vendrame, someone who like really needs a reduced bunch to get a result. But now he's winning bunches.
bunches.
and then winning GC sprint days as well.
He's on fire.
He's a guy. He's a guy who can definitely win a 1 week stage tour like a TDU. Something that's potentially can keep him there. I don't want to talk down TDU, but he can get over some of these climbs.
A time bonus based race.
Yes, that is exactly what that was the words I was looking for. Thank you.
Also, just really important for keeping Ineos's momentum going.
Yes, and Ineos, I mean, we'll get to it later down the podcast, but are flying with results.
Business is good. It's the Dave B show.
Did they think Gawn was their guy?
No.
So maybe in cycling, the structure, like just going for what's the shiny thing, isn't the right thing.
Or did we think Tobias Anderson was the guy?
Nah. But we all think Oscar Onley is. And is that going? How's that going?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I mean, they came out of the same
It's
DS.
harsh to judge him right now, but
Yeah. Stage 2.
stage 2.
You're wearing the hat, Max.
So this was probably the only genuine bunch for maybe Vernon one as well. Court just went. It was a hard race, and Court just went, and no one could go with him. Ineos rode all day for Gawn, thinking that was potentially, but Court had that speed. There was a climb, maybe 50k to go, that sort of weakened a few of the legs. Magnus is that guy who can win 8 in a fortnight or win none for 9 months, and I feel like he's currently in his none for 9 months period.
Well, he's just come out of a year hiatus from the World Tour winning level.
Is that right? And Uno X needed it.
They did.
They've been around the mark. This is their big signing. Magnus, Varenskold, Johansson. They're their big 3. Magnus has got to produce, and he did.
These sprints too, all week, none of them were controlled, organized. They were all messy.
Yeah, well, I think NSM...
Except for maybe the NSN lead out first.
NSM were the only team that was seen to have brought a sprinter, because I still don't think Gawn's a sprinter. I mean, he is, but...
Is he?
He is now.
Is he, Plappy?
Based off this year, yes, I wouldn't have said so past, but I think these Catalunya, the Romandy, Basque Country 1 week races are where you get some of the most exciting finishes, just because, like Maxie said, there's almost no teams that bring sprinters or lead out riders. So it throws a few mixed results, and I love watching it too. It's quite exciting seeing sort of those half GC, half second tier sprinters going at it. And stage 3 would have been where it would have been not a sprint, and they got another chance, the sprinters. So Catalunya sort of threw a few cat in the bags.
You put a message in the group chat that, like, I guess before Max and I woke up, being like, stage 3, like, strap yourself in. We thought somehow we saw a Jonas versus a Remco show.
Yep.
After Remco got pretty excited. Crosswinds, Red Bull, they came off a descent, and Red Bull nailed it.
Yep.
Until they didn't.
Yeah. This whole week, I feel like Red Bull have got some good learnings from it. I don't think it's been a disaster. I think Remco and Florian look like they can work together. In fact, some of the interviews in and around it seem like they like each other. Did you get that vibe?
I don't know. Let's ask a man on the ground.
Yeah, I think Lippo threw his hat back in the ring to said, hey, I'm still the man that podiumed at the Tour de France. I think he made it clear that he's still a very, very good bike rider, and it's not the Remco show at Red Bull. He was very impressive, but Remco attacking from the front, or not attacking, just riding off the front from first wheel, splitting it in the crosswinds, and Jonas being able to close that gap on the flat was extremely impressive. Potentially could say racing a bit cocky, Red Bull. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but probably didn't need to do it that early in the bike race.
Red Bull or Remco?
Remco.
He also rode a Norwegian off the wheel, which I thought was just a little fun fact as to how good he was going.
He was moving.
Jonas has been in that situation a couple of times in his career and refuses to ride. Get it, because why would you? But also, Tadej and the MVDP and Wout van Aert show, they all ride. They just love riding. Where Jonas is this other guy in this best 5 riders in the world that just doesn't ride. He just sits on wheels, doesn't care what anyone.
I don't think he needed to ride. I think he
No,
rode
I
it well.
agree.
He knew he was going to put minutes into everyone in the 2 mountaintops. So
I don't think anyone thought he needed to ride, but it'd be fun if he did.
Let's race.
Yeah.
Why not get 7 seconds on Almeida that we're not sure if he's going to be any good or not yet? Like, I get Almeida ended up blowing up, but there's a chance to get 10 seconds on Almeida.
Or at least give Remco enough of a tap that he's interested.
Yeah. And you can test yourself in a 2-up sprint because there's one coming for Jonas somewhere.
It was even from when it split, when Jonas bridged the gap, it was a wild finish because we saw Remco sit up more or less, try and catch Jonas again off guard, and then binned it into a roundabout.
wasn't a great look.
Just to make sure that he wasn't extremely pissed off, he crashed into the roundabout on a regulation turn, dry track. He said he hit a pothole.
Yeah, it wasn't great outcome considering he lost the race for nothing in the end. He lost everything.
So he's crashed, and then Remco, and then Jonas has sat up when he probably could have won the stage.
What do you have? 10 seconds with a K to go?
Under a K to go.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You happy he sat up?
Yeah, he could have done either, but I think sitting up was respectful to say. It was also just him being cocky and saying, I don't need another 10 seconds. I'm going to pump you all in the next couple of days anyway. So 2 ways to see that.
What's another stage of Catalunya? And then it was Dorian again. Took the chocolates.
Dorian again. In form.
But big crash mid-stage. Jay Vine out. Almeida down, I think. A few others came down. But there's been no reports actually about how Jay is going, what the situation is. No social media from anyone, from UAE, from himself. I know firsthand from the same injury, it's not great. It took me a few extra weeks to come back and race just because of the pain. And I think before the race, he said it's still about managing the pain in the wrist while racing. So I think we saw him hop into the car holding his wrist. So hopefully he's okay. Yeah, those scaphoids can be very annoying. And if it wasn't completely fixed, could be a very big setback coming into the Giro.
Does he always, like, what's the staying on the bike ratio for him?
I feel
it's
like
22 in 5 years.
22 in 5, and I feel like he's crashed a few more and not actually hurt himself a few times as well.
Where'd you get that stat from?
Pro Cycling Stats put it up actually during the race on the live feed. They were just keeping everyone updated.
Similar to how I just keep an eye on Brodie Grundy and just see how he's going because he's my main threat. Plappy just keeps an eye on Jay. Just watches him from
Not what he needed. Let's just put it that way. Not what he needed.
Especially when you're so easily exchangeable in UAE.
Yes, but I think he still serves a purpose there.
He does, but he's not going to serve a purpose for a while now.
It depends. Depends what this is. I think he could be all right, and he could come back later, sooner rather than later.
Would you? I mean, you're just not taking him to a Grand Tour.
It's too risky.
Yeah.
To be fair, he crashed 2 down under because a kangaroo ran through the bunch.
But it had to find him. I guarantee you, if that kangaroo came into the peloton and Van der Poel was in there, he would have bunny hopped over the kangaroo.
Peter Sagan would have chopped through the kangaroo.
He would have shoulder charged the kangaroo.
Yeah, it's just like it's that thing, Plappy. Sometimes those guys like Van der Poel, rode over Tudor guy's head to win in opening weekend.
That was a Tudor guy's fault for being in the lead. The lead going into that. Where was it? Well, where was that?
It's Umlaut.
That was at Umlaut.
But like, I don't know, Plappy, you got any thoughts on these guys that just can navigate their way through anything?
I definitely can't. So I have a lot of jealousy watching what those guys are capable of doing on the bike, let alone on the cobbles. I'm probably sitting more in Jay's camp of I like to find ways to get on the ground rather than avoid them. But no, I do feel for him. But Yeah, with the scaphoid, I'm not sure it's going to be sooner rather than later. If he has re-injured that, it could be not great with all the plates and screws in there already.
We do have Aussies that are good. Caden Groves is very good.
Very good.
Caden's exceptional.
It's the Alperson lads.
Well, we saw that Tour de France stage 1 last year. Ryder hits the deck. Ben O'Connor's left of him. Caden Groves right of him. Grovesy does a wheel stand. And Ben O'Connor's just crashed.
And we're a pro Alperson de Koenig podcast.
We are.
We love Alperson.
Extremely, extremely positive. Bring Matchy back to Australia.
Yep. Wind cancelled the final climb.
That's it. We got another sprint.
Yeah, caused chaos pre-stage with what was going on with the wind, and then it ended up being, I think they sprinted to the bottom of the climb. Was that right? Yes.
Yep.
And NSN finally got their one. So I feel like even Vernon was the best sprinter at the race, and he finally got his chance to do it, and he came out of Godon's wheel. So he used the right lead out. He maybe just needed to work out who his rivals were. That's what it seemed like. I'm an Ethan Vernon guy, and I feel like he's been bang for buck for NSN. He's producing results.
Yeah. Stage 5. I just flagged on this stage that we're GC. We're back in the mountains, and Ineos are riding. Thoughts?
I think it suits only that sort of tempo, which is what they were trying to work for. No, they don't have to do it. They didn't need to do it, but it probably is what Only liked and wanted. I thought the most interesting dynamic was when Lipowitz was the one covering. It sort of seemed like he was doing all the covering and acceleration so Remco could have an easy ride and be the man. But in the end, Lippo had a lot of watts in reserve and was absolutely amazing, it must be said. He went hard early, followed all the moves early, and still was probably the best climber there at the end, apart from obviously Jonas.
Yeah, I think he potentially goes with Jonas. I agree with Plappy with the matches burnt early from Lippo. Because Lenny Martinez is in hot form right now, and he just looked comfortable in his wheel. Even rode a little bit. Felix Gall did get away from them. I don't know what to read into that, but Lipowitz has got top 3 sort of form here. He's got top
Tour de France podium.
Yeah, he's got just judging book by its cover, seeing how they might play out. Remco's got to stay on his bike. That's an issue for him. He's got to get for a whole Grand Tour. Another issue for him. Lippo goes. They both sit around top 5 for majority of the first 2 weeks. I know who I'd want it back.
So in terms of Red Bull Alpha Dynamics, GC leadership?
Still Remco. I mean, someone's on 4 mil, someone's on 2 mil. That's Alpha's already. Am I even anywhere near the ballpark there, Plappy? 4 and 2?
Similar, I'd say. Yeah, around it.
He's got exact numbers in his mind. He just doesn't add it. Spill them.
I might be half of what Remco actually is, but that's the pecking order already. But then during the Grand Tour is where the money doesn't matter.
You feel like Remco's got that winner, savage, I'm going to break away from this person mentality.
He's similar to what I was saying about Magnus Cort before. He can win a race and win a race extremely well, but sometimes you don't know when it's coming, and then you just sit there and go, why is he not doing it the next day?
But like Lipowitz, extremely strong.
Yeah.
But
I think Lippo likes being in Remco's shadow. No one's really spoke about him much this year, and he's just gone away and done the business this week, and I think he quite likes not being in the spotlight and having Remco as the man, and he can just sit back and hide a bit more. And even when he's off the front, it's what's Remco doing behind sort of thing. And he's got the card to play if he is out front that Remco's behind and he's not going to work. So I think for Lippo, it's a great situation.
Find it weird that I don't think Visma were that strong outside of Vingegaard. I think that's aged pretty well. I think Sepkus was sort of there, but I find it weird that other teams decide to take up the pacing. Like, I get it, they're trying to maybe weaken Jonas, or are they just riding for second and third straight away? Like, is Jai Hindley going full gas, Giro d'Italia winner of 2021, going full gas to sacrifice himself so they could burn Lenny Martinez, or are they trying to burn Jonas?
I think with Remco on legs, on form, they ride to win. I think when it's Lippo, it's almost, let's see if we can go from third to second, or then they're riding for the podium a bit more. I think with Remco, they still have that mentality to go for the win, and they might be able to do something. But yeah, I think it's almost anyone, unless it's Remco. Every other team is riding for that podium spot. And it changes the dynamic in racing heaps now, especially in Grand Tours. The major breakaways, it's not the yellow jerseys team that's chasing the breaks. It's the guys in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th trying to protect their top 10 or their top 5, especially when your Jonas have a minute and a half GC lead already. It's not up to them.
Anyway, Jonas rode away at 6, just wound it up at 6.8 K to go. And
looked incredibly good.
Looked very comfortable.
Could blow out many candles over the finish line.
Stage 6, Maxi, is where we got to see Remco working for Lipowitz.
Yes. And this is where I think I saw the interview. I feel like it almost brought a tear to Lipowitz's eye. Like he was gobsmacked that a guy on what Plappy said, what was it, 15 mil work for him. Yeah, the dynamics of Red Bull certainly lit this stage up. It was kind of cool. I mean, the thing is, then there's Lenny Martinez, who's also on a truckload of money, who's pipping both these Red Bull boys.
He's in super condition.
How much have Bahrain paid for Lenny Martinez?
Top dollar.
€2 million. See if he smiles or not.
Yeah, no, he's
not smart at that.
He's not
That's
smart.
unders.
I mean, it's the year of the French. Is Lenny Martinez rocking into a top 10 GC?
Yeah, on Bahrain.
I think he is.
On Bahrain.
Yeah.
He's the only one doing anything for Bahrain. Oh, Sagat's weirdly doing something.
Yes, Sagat's. Yeah, we'll get to that later on.
I think Lenny goes all in for white jersey. I think that's his thing at the tour. He's got to have that. And then it's, where does that land on the podium?
The final stage, practice run into Barcelona for Tour de France. It's not the exact course, but we get a fair bit of it at Tour de France stage 2. Got to see a lot of Oscar Onley active, and I didn't mind it.
Great stage. I like how early they opened the race up. Remco was very aggressive early, and that sort of kicked it off. And you would have said with 50K to go, 40, 30, 20, 10K to go, there was absolutely no chance a sprinter even gets close to contesting this. So it was a very, very good stage. It's actually the climb they were all attacking on. We also do in the Triple T at the Tour, which is going to be mighty tough. But it's renowned as a stage in the peloton as people's favorite. It's always very exciting, and I think it creates some awesome racing. So stage 2 is going to be brutal come the Tour. I think it's probably a bit harder for stage 2 that early on in a Grandie, but was awesome racing. Everyone was sort of attacking each other, but Remco was almost too strong for Lippo. He had to stop his attacks and make sure Lipowitz was there before he could sort of do something again. I feel Lippo had better legs. Remco would have done a lot more.
What do they call this climb? What's the climb?
Mount Juic.
Mount Juic reminds me a little bit of Cadell's Chalambra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the winner. Brady Gilmore gets over both. Finishes with a reduced bunch. Guys lit it up. Remco probably, I don't know what Remco was doing on the final descent. I feel like he attacked on the descent and then waited for Lippo, thinking Lippo was coming with him, and then pulled back. Remco lit the whole stage up. I was really unsure on his tactics.
I think he was too.
Yeah, that's potentially what it was, because he could have potentially won that bunch. Remco's got a bit of go in him.
Well, I think if you got it in front of you, I think you end up third.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
So imagine what he could have done in a smaller group.
Brady Gilmore wins.
Brady Gilmore wins, which if you listen to the George Bennett podcast, you would have had mail on, so you would have already known this.
And NSN have walked away from a 1-week stage race, World Tour race in Spain with 2 wins.
He also won with the NSN owner, former Barcelona midfielder, in the team car.
And he also won without getting called for 2 kilometres. In fact, I don't think he got called for the race. That was a diabolical finish in terms of commentating.
I don't know if Carlton Kirby knows who he is.
Carlton Kirby called it as an NSN rider wins the race.
The NSN rider for 2 kilometres.
At least he knew it wasn't Ethan Vernon. So he did well there. He had enough rider ID to work out it wasn't Vernon, but he just had no idea who else it could have been.
Yeah, he's a lot shorter, so that helps.
That helps.
But huge win for Brady. I think he's been capable of something like this for a while, and he fits that sort of mould as reduced bunch sprinter. And I think he could feature in a lot of these sprints, like your Romandys and those sorts of things, coming against like a Caden Grove sort of sprint. But no, very.
He can obviously climb, or like get around in those kind of tough conditions.
He puts his hand up for a start at the tour now with that, you'd almost think.
He's got the famous Australian form, winning GC, a tour to Taiwan.
That's key.
That's that is that Australians go to Taiwan. Rwanda form, he really, he's just, this is his first year on the circuit.
He's got Amstel Gold in the race program.
That seems like something.
Jonas cleaned up in the GC, no surprises, said in his post-race interview that my shape is good, but not the best yet.
Which is fun.
That's fun.
That's
fun.
Fun.
That's
More
good
fun.
from him.
Yeah.
That makes up for him not riding with Remco.
Yeah. Does he think he can beat Tade?
Oh yeah.
Good on you, Jonas.
He can though. He's so good all week.
Is this a little dagger to to Red Bull when Paripant beats Remco in GC here? Or does it
Nothing to look into.
Nothing to look into. Okay.
I think it's a bit of a dagger for Red Bull, even their budget, like even their team sheet budget here.
Yep.
Like I know Lipowitz got what, third on GC? But they've got some team.
Well, I mean, if we go to the sheet that we will to at the end of Red Bull are underperforming. All their wins are basically Mallorca with Remco.
Anything else from Catalunya, Plappy, before we head to Belgium?
Tell us about Ben's form, Plappy.
Ben and Paul Double didn't have the greatest week from a Joko point of view. Wasn't our strongest race by any means. Ben joins me tomorrow, I believe, up at Sierra. So he'll fine-tune coming into the Giro, but still building. He's had a sort of rough start after UAE, so hopefully he can build nicely now in altitude towards the Giro. Uderbrooks looks good from Movistar, not great. Who else is there? Skelmoser wasn't great for Little Trek. He was around the mark, but probably want a little bit more there. And probably Onley's the one from Ineos you expected to be a bit higher. I'd say that's the one big GC guy that wasn't up there. Like he was dropped pretty early each climb.
I feel like the era is over of the Spaniards. Lander and Mas are handing over the baton. Mas is handing over the baton to Usterbrooks and Lander's handing it over to Paripant.
Yep. Disappointing to see Almeida was sick.
Yep.
And Pidcock apparently crashed into a ravine.
Yeah, at 70 k's an hour.
Yeah.
Bad crash.
I mean, if Pidcock is crashing, Plappy, is that just poor race management?
I think
because there was a lot of crashes at that stage.
Coming away from crashing at 70 k an hour down in a ravine with only a little banged up knee probably shows his skill of crashing, in the sense that he can crash lightly.
What would you have done?
Being in an ambulance in hospital.
He'd be in the chopper.
Yeah, considering Pidcock did that, still finished the day, but then didn't start the next day. But the analysis was not a great one for his knee, but I think he'll be back and going all right. Hopefully, he's got amazing legs.
Let's go to Belgium. And Gent-Wevelgem over the last week. The mini Flanders. Mathieu van der Poel, the big name on the start list, didn't disappoint. Rode through 4 groups, went full Mathieu van der Poel spec. And then we saw one of the strangest finishes you'll ever see.
Yeah, Group 2 syndrome, that's called. And I also think if it was anyone else apart from a Van der Poel, Pogi sort of person, you bring that back. I think that's just what happens when you get the big guys in the race. They think they're racing from second from the get-go, and that's what happened in the last K. They should have caught him, and they were racing for second and quite happy with second.
So where do we read on MVDP form here? So mail has come out that he's hit his best numbers ever for a 40-minute period.
46 watts for 90, Plappy.
Yep. Massive.
When he says that, is that normalized?
No, he posted it on online from the Training Peaks file, and it's average power. And to do that on the flat is astonishing. On a climb is a lot easier to hold that power. So he's got some legs, and I think the only reason he was even close to getting caught was because he went so early. If he probably waited a bit longer, no one gets close to him. I think he's on for what's to come in the next 10 days and will be great racing. But Vermeesh is looking very, very good. He's almost best of the rest in the Classics boys.
Yeah, well, to catch 4:46 average for 90 minutes.
Yeah. And he had to start at the back of the group when Van der Poel went. He had an unfortunate puncher.
He did most of the riding, I would say, Vermeesh.
Yeah.
It seemed like particularly De Wolf and Abrahamson were cooked.
He just swung off 50 metres too early.
He didn't want to take them there, but I wish I had an earpiece to him and say, the others aren't beating you, mate. They're done. I'm impressed with the Norwegian bloke on Visma, Lisa bike.
Yeah.
Very good Classics campaign. Do you want to have a go at
If
his
you're
name?
Pogi, you're very, very happy watching Vermeesh do this.
Correct.
It gives you a lot of confidence for
this is last year,
Flanders.
isn't it? Vermeesh is going? Is Vermeesh going? Did I
Up
read
for
Vermeesh is
contract.
going?
Up for contract.
Up for contract.
I believe he stays.
Plappy probably knows where he's going. The Norwegian, Per Strand Huggins.
That's what you're running with?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
He'll find his way to an OX.
He will naturally find his way to the homeland.
Lund. Another just, I know it's very hard to park my liking and how much I love Tobias Lund Anderson, but he's won the bunch here. And you see him present in the next race in Belgium as well. He could be something in a year or two at these races, like a Philipson or a Ped.
Yep. Get Welvogum. I guess we got to see a bit of return to safety. We got to see two vans crest the top of a climb and start chopping off together.
Yep.
Felt nice.
It was good to see.
It showed me I am one of the biggest Wout van Aert fans you can get. And I feel like he's just always stuck in a tricky situation. And he was in it again. And I think everyone plays the fact that he's so desperate to win against him. But he was in that situation again. And it's just a lose-lose. Like MVDP's got Philipson back there. He does like soft rides. He's got Matty Brennan who couldn't get over the crosswind, so he's not in the group. Like it's just always against him. If he has Matty Brennan, maybe he can play the games within MVDP as well. Yep. But he just doesn't. I just always feel for Wout. He's obviously got legs. The Milan San Remo ride was incredible. This was good. I actually feel like he might be able to stay with the two boys at Paris-Roubaix potentially.
Yeah, his legs are exceptional for our next 2 weekends.
Correct. He has definitely made it a 3-man thing.
Yeah, which has been a missing piece.
Yes.
But I think Philipson's legs make it 4 men. He's bought 3rd at Roubaix before, and he has legs. And if that means Van der Poel rides easier in Roubaix or plays the Philipson card, I think Philipson can be there, which creates a massive different dynamic. The Alpecin are looking very good again.
Lots of people did random attacks here. Paul Magnier got on the front. Ineos, someone from Ineos. I'm going to run with Turner.
Nah, Turner threw himself off the bike.
He was out. Did you see that crash?
Oh, yeah.
That was Ben Turner.
That was a big crash. And Garner just said, wow, an MVDP, I'm one of the big 3 as well, and just brought that gap by himself back for no reason whatsoever, but just to show he's got legs.
It was to get Sam Watson a 17th, which is 30 UCI points. So well done.
Yep.
Well done, Garner.
Robert Donaldson, Plappy?
Yeah. Threaded the gap on the last corner. Dive bomb from out of nowhere and rolled 5th in the sprint. So very good signs from a young fella. Belgium's not typically Jaco's hunting ground.
Have you met him?
I have once. Is he
one of the boys?
He sounds like it. The Belgian boys, or Cal and those boys, talk very highly of him and love him. Supposedly the day before, he was also in a great position until he crashed himself. But very, very promising. And the way the boys are riding, they're riding for him, controlling a bit as well at times. So I think they really back him. So hopefully he can get a few more top 10s in the next couple of weeks.
I'm pretty sure I saw the iconic purple map jumper doing some work with Ghana in that last little bit. So there was Donaldson was sending the boys to the front. He was quietly confident. I'm not sure why, because he would have looked around and seen Phillipson, Tobias Anderson, and Arno Dali. But I appreciate the confidence. One thing I love here is Tudor still don't know what they're doing with their. They just send Trenton and Mazzardo and hope for as many points as possible. They both just go to either side of the peloton and sprint by themselves. That's always fun, isn't it?
Are they deemed that in total that's going to yield them more points than one
so.
leading out the other?
Well, I don't think Trenton's beating Jasper Philipsen, is he?
No, he's not.
So why not get 2 top 10s? Tobias Lund should have won this. I know I'm very biased on Tobias Lund. He had the lead out of Bowl. Van der Poel was a tiring lead out for Philipsen.
Exceptional that Van der Poel-Philipsen relationship just continues to thrive.
Yeah.
They were very happy at the end of the race together as well. Lots of hugs.
It's not fake. Like 2 genuine winners.
It's a pretty good position for Jasper to be in.
Yeah.
I can just ride defensive, and if MVDP gets caught, I suppose it's my turn.
The other thing on Anderson too that I just noted down is Coy's still out injured.
It's going to be an interesting situation.
A few more weeks, it seems.
Yeah. Alex Segart.
I can't say, and I get that my role in this podcast is to know who Alex Segart is, but I don't. Where's he come from?
He's got legs. I don't know.
He definitely has legs.
But he has
legs. Has he got like Mark Padun legs, like we're never going to see them again?
It's Bahrain stuff, so potentially. But he, for those that haven't seen the footage, he bridged the gap to Van der Poel and Van Aert and rode.
And rode away.
After winning solo last week, holding off the bunch sprint as well.
Been at Bahrain for a couple of years, Lotto previous, 23 years old, so he's young. And not an unbelievable palmarès.
But in terms of that team, Bahrain Victorious, like put that name down for the coming couple of weekends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they reek of classic riders.
No, they don't.
There's a Mohoric, and that's it.
Yeah.
He might not even be their boy anymore, Mohoric.
New man on the block. Anything else from Belgium?
No, I just think a nice opening weekend, and this weekend was a great prelude to what's to come. I think it's going to be some nice close racing. Be interesting to see when Pogi slots into that. Hopefully we have a fit Pedersen. I think that'll spice it up as well. Whether Pedersen can win or not, he always influences the race and pulls and make exciting moves. So I think it's going to be a really exciting next week or two in Belgium coming up.
We had the first World Tour win for the Unibet Rockets. Dylan Groenewegen has won in Belgium at the Ronde van Bruges, the Tour of Bruges, and he's beaten Jasper Philipsen, Max Canter. Again, great vision. They do it extremely well of Marcel Kittel, loving that, which led Dylan Groenewegen to get his third win in the matter of weeks. And then all of a sudden, he was $1.67 to win a race that was lumpy. And I just everyone jumped on Dylan because he's got winning form. And he went to a lumpy race that ended up being another Unibet Rockets win, Venturi, but he was at 40-1. I love that Dylan's going well, but he cannot get over any sort of hill. Okay, so let's just remember when we start backing Dylan, it needs to be pancake. But Unibet Rockets, flying. In fact, they're well and truly climbing my table.
Which we'll get to later on.
We will.
We'll get to later on. Just on that, La Rouge, Cofidis had 4 blokes to go with 2 kilometres left.
Yeah. I was going to wear their hat today, and I chose against it because I was disappointing.
Yeah. Any other races you want to touch on, Maxi?
I think we have to talk about the Jayco boys, yeah.
Yeah, do you want to go take us to Italy, Plappy?
Well, the man of Jayco, Maris Schmidt, does it again. 2 second places, wins the final stage to win on bonus seconds, and wins the overall. So happy hunting ground for Maro, building up quite the Palmares this year. I think might be ranked 3rd or 4th now, best rider for the year with the points he's gathering. He almost isn't entering a race without podium in these days. So very, very impressive from him. Must be said, was a small race, wasn't a whole heap of UCI points, but to come down to the final sprint on the last day, and Maro and Hatherley worked exceptionally well together. So great to see Maro get another win, and hopefully he does the Ardennes now coming up, which should suit him quite well.
This is what George was saying. Send Binny somewhere before he goes to the tour. Get some points, get a bit of backing before you get to the tour, and then try and win something at the tour. Jayco have copied the NSN playbook, and they've sent Maro to probably a race that normally you'd send Filippo Conca or Alessandro Covi to, but they've decided to send their man just to bank 500 points.
Well, it's typically a race for development teams, and we had, I think, 2 or 3 dev riders there as well. But you just put one big guy there, one big name to get the job done. Ineos was similar. They had a development squad plus their man too. So yeah, it was a weaker field, but the racing at the front was very, very exciting.
Do you worry that Smith might be becoming Jerry's favourite rider?
Warranted 1,200 UCI points in 15 days. He's the man. Contract year for Maro. He's a bit of a Jakey Stringer sort of. People won't understand that reference, but contract year pulls it out.
How much is he on?
I reckon his value is going up every single race day he does this season.
Good answer. Good answer.
That's a very good answer.
There's 5 results from Jayco and 4 of them Schmitty boy.
Okay. Should we get stuck into Max's homemade table of the teams that win, the teams that actually win? You've been talking about this a little bit on the podcast, that sometimes the UCI rankings don't really give a complete indication of
it's just tough to see where the points are and where more. And I don't care about points. Like, points. Like, I'm in it for the wins. I like wins. Get Asana, that's cool what they do, but then you get Tudor that send Trenton and Mazzardo, and they just come 7th and 8th, and it's like, come on, boys. I'm in it for the wins. So UAE is still,
and we're talking World Tour wins.
We're talking World Tour, Pro Tour, which is just under World Tour, but still that's up Mallorca and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking the dot ones. So
you're including them.
Just because Maro, that's where Jayco can get their results, and we're a pro Jayco podcast.
So being a biased podcast, we've included 0.1s.
So I'm adding some 0.1s in total wins. I'm not adding 0.2s.
Just this week, or do you need to go back and do some?
No, I did some digging. Okay, so we're good. We're good. I've added a couple of teams like General Store, Nippo, and Burgos just to add to them. But the funny thing is, I've added all these Pro Conti teams, Nippo, General Store, Van Rizal, Roubaix, Flanders, and DSM are still last.
Yeah. Okay.
There's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 across
it's not
the table.
Great. But not great considering they only have a 1-year license.
Yeah. UAE are on top. They've got 16 wins. Ineos on 12, a lot of them coming from Gawn. And then Visma are on 9, purely coming from Vingegaard, a lot from Vingegaard.
Because he cleaned up at Catalunya too. Stage wins galore. And he could have had one more.
Trek are on 8, basically the Milan and Ayuso show there with Trek. The Decathlon are on 8. Tobias Lund is only sort of 3 or 4 of them. So like the Decathlon are actually getting results outside of Tobias Lund. This is a disappointing one, Red Bull. They're on 7 total wins, but Plappy, 6 of them are dot ones. They're not out there to win dot ones, are they?
With that budget, you need to be winning big.
Wait, you tell me Red Bull HQ is going to be happy with the end of season slide deck that's got all these 0.1s on it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure one of their only results are really Jordi Mears. And then Remco and Mallorca. The cool things here, people on the rise, Jayco, 5 wins for the year. Unibet, that's amazing. They're 5 wins. They're currently sitting tied 10th.
Yeah.
NSM have risen to 6 wins. There's not much else really to report. We can put the table maybe on our socials at some point. It's the table that really matters.
It's the table that matters, and there's only one place to get it.
Yep. Which leaves me my top 5. Still waiting to call this something. I hope that comes one day soon.
Just a little refresher on that.
It's a rolling top 5 of my 5 favourite teams for the year. It's not based on anything. It's just based on how much aura and a little bit of the table that matters. UAE is still number 1. So they're still clear 1. I've had a little switch from here though. So last week I had the Decathlon at 2. I've moved Ineos up to 2. You can't ignore that. Gawn is just doing great things. Lawrence goes to the top 1 race with Mario Schmidt and wins a race. They're winning races everywhere. They might not be nailing Kevin and Oscar, Egan and Rodriguez. They're not nailing those boys, but they're getting wins around it, which is not what Ineos used to do. If Froome wasn't winning, Ineos were cooked. But now Froome's not winning, and their version of Froome now is Oscar, but they're winning. So they're second. I've switched Visma down to 4th, so Alpecin are 3rd, and they're the new guys in. I think it's too hard to ignore. They've just won another 2 World Tour races with Van der Poel and Philipsen. I get it's only 2 guys doing it, but you can't ignore that. Visma and Decathlon round out to 5. So basically Astana out, Alpecin in. And reshuffled the order a little bit. Unibet are close.
Special mention.
If Dylan, Lucas Kubis, or Wood Poles, or Venturi, who's just come up and won a win, if they win something in the next week or 2, Unibet are going to be in the top 5.
What do you think about that 5, Plappy?
Very, very strong. I think price, win per budget, Unibet are well on top there. They are batting well above their average. And it's exciting. They nail the socials, and it's an easy team to get around and follow. So I always enjoy seeing them win. And I think Alpecin are in a very strong position already, considering the big races haven't started where they score big yet. And I agree, Ineos are very strong. They're getting wins on the board when you wouldn't have expected it early, with their big boys not firing yet. So to be that high on the list without their big boys firing is good signs.
Ineos are likable again.
Almost.
Are they? I feel like they're underdogs.
Almost.
I mean, I'm talking to the wrong person here, Plappy, but
yeah, the number 1 Ineos hater fan club ticket holder.
But I do take budget into it. But UAE is still 1. Like, I get their budget's massive, but they're still 1.
Yeah.
That's where Red Bull and Trek aren't in the 5, even though their results which leads to my next segment.
We've gone from no segments to Max has got 3 on the trot.
Is my favourite races so far. There's been some quality racing. The 2 races that could come into the 5 are the Brady Gilmore win on stage 7 of Catalunya, the Dorian Godon win stage 1, Catalunya, and the last one is MVDP almost gassing it to Florian Vermeersch and Jonas Abrahamsen and what's your Norwegian guy's name? Sjans Per Hagnes.
1 sec, per something.
So they could come into it, but I'm sticking with last week. And I know that's boring for my segment to not have a change, but it's still Aussie Nationals at number 5 there, Plappy.
Still on the list.
Yep. Stage 2, Torino. Stage 6, UAE. Stage 4, Paris-Nice. And Milan-San Remo. Unfortunately, none of them were better than those 5. Would you agree with that?
Maybe, yeah.
Stage 7, Catalunya.
That's the one.
If Lipowitz and Remco started attacking each other on the descent, maybe.
We needed a breakaway to come back.
Yep.
I think what stage 7 of Catalunya shows is you can have a 90K 2-hour bike race and be close to one of the most exciting there is for the year. And we've seen that in the past with 120K Grand Tour stages. I really do enjoy these shorter, smaller stages, and I think they are more exciting. So I would not be against having these shorter stages that sort of throw out racing from the get-go. I think it's the way forward.
Like, they must be better from a rider perspective too. Plappy?
Much better. I mean, it's 2 hours, you get the job done, and you're out of there.
Yeah, and also you can't tell me that
ready to step on the circuit.
Do you reckon a few of them were down the beach clubs on Sunday night?
On the foreshore, yeah, for sure. It's
Which
a great
is
place
weird.
to finish a bike race.
It's weird that 90K is getting promoted as good racing because Milan-San Remo is my favourite race, and that's 298 kilometres.
Yeah, but they can own that.
But it's only a 60K race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just if you ever need another segment, I've got one ready.
Okay. Let's not launch them all
No,
too
it
early
is
in the
my
year.
top 5 rolling riders.
Top 5 riders.
Yeah. Which I thought would be boring, but I don't think it
Wait.
actually is.
Your 2nd to 5th will be good.
4th, 3rd to 5th. I mean, MVP
Okay,
second.
yeah. Maybe after the classics, your 2nd to 5th would be good.
Maybe I might gel. Once you get classics mixed with Del Toro and Sexiest as well, then you start going, wow, is Sexiest better or is Phillipsen better?
Yeah.
There's too many GC races at the moment that outweigh
Correct.
this.
If you want to, if you've got ideas for segments, if you want to hear more segments, maybe if you've even got some names for segments.
The bottom 3 teams would be a good one as well, but DSM, how much can we hate on DSM? And I feel like JK might every now and then be in that 3, so we just have to be careful there.
We do have to be careful.
Yeah.
Flanders,
Yeah.
Sunday night. Will Pogi win his 3rd race of the year from 3 starts?
Can Pogi hold 4:46 for 90 minutes?
Yes, he
Well,
can.
he doesn't have to. He's 15 kilos lighter.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You get him what I'm putting down there.
And he can do it. And he can do 1,000 for 2 minutes and then just settle back into his easy threshold of mid 350 to 400.
No, it's not even a contest. Pogi wins by minutes.
Plappy?
Van der Poel's the only one. You don't know how much this crash at San Remo affected his climbing legs. That's what I want to know. You look at the result sheet at San Remo, no chance anyone gets close to him. But did this crash affect Van der Poel's legs on the Cipressa and on Poggio? That's the one thing to find out. It's a 2-horse race, that's for sure. But I think with Vermeesch going so well, just could help Pogi that much more and be no contest.
And I know this doesn't it's not how banged up your bike is equals how sore you are / how hard your body took it. But just came out this week that Pogi's bike was also snapped after his crash at Milan San Remo. So he's hit the deck hard.
Yeah, he's just got so much in reserve.
Alex Seagart is going.
He has to be. He's their guy.
Mark Padun's going. Sam Welsford's on the start list.
Yeah, I'd say that's provisional and will be changed. I don't believe so.
He's on the provisional.
I don't think he will be there.
Anyone else? Plappy, what do we...
Pedersen's going.
Yep.
Yeah, Mads.
And then Woot. It'll be the 4 of them. No Garner, so he parks it with Flanders, which probably makes sense.
Bit hard.
Is there a world where we start to see not a negative, but a Wood Van Aert that rides and doesn't pull through?
Well, they just
did they go?
Know how much he wants to win. That's the issue. So he just rides. They call his bluff.
Yeah, but Pogi also wants to win.
But he's won it.
Yeah, but I know he wants to win all 5, but I'm pretty sure he wants to win all 5 this year.
Yep, 100%.
So this is the one for Wood just
to be cold-blooded.
Is he allowed to get ahead of the race?
Nope.
Who's the closest favourite that's going to be allowed to get ahead of the race? He's not a favourite. Let's calm down there.
Jorgensen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. One of our Uno X boys.
Abrahamson. Yeah, Abrahamson could be ahead of the race. Vacek.
So you either have to be ahead of the race or one of the vans or Pogi. They're your options, but not from the bunch.
It's a shame. It's a shame
Flanders.
Pitcock crashed. He was hot, and I reckon it would have been a very nice classics to throw him in the mix. But I don't know when we'll see him again.
Last year, Pedersen, Van der Poel, and Van Aert finished as a group a minute behind Pog. And Stuyven was in that group as well and did the pretty sure did the lead out for Pedersen to win that second place.
Yeah.
I mean, around Quickstep, there's a bit of energy with Boonen back around the grounds.
You're talking like a Paul Magnier gets to the finish line or a Dylan Van Baal.
No, I was more thinking.
I like Dylan. Magnier has no chance, but Dylan could be someone that gets ahead of the race.
Did I catch you out on Stuyven being you've caught me out on Stuyven. Stuyven's not a little trek anymore, and he's gone to.
I caught you out. Then I questioned my own thing. Yeah, Stuyven's at Sudal Quickstep.
I did get someone. I got Van Baal and Magnier right though. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Geez, that's the boys. That's the wolf pack.
That's an
Magnier,
old
Van Baal, Lampard, Pedersen, Rex, Stuyven.
old school.
Dylan got second, did he? A couple of years back, and then won Roubaix.
I see how good I am.
I'm sure he did. When he won Roubaix, he got second at Flanders as well.
Anyone from Jake O'Lula we need to be keeping tabs on?
I don't know the exact start list. Bob's in form. I don't know how well he'll get over these climbs. And then the other boys, look, I think our best chance is getting in that early move. You get a sort of a head start, and then you can race for that top 10 once the big dogs catch you.
Should we be seeing Kel O'Brien on this start list?
He will be there, I believe.
Unconfirmed.
I would say I'm 100% Maro will not be at Flanders, so you'd probably swap Cal and Maro out there.
Yeah.
It reeks of a race where you need positioning.
Mm.
Yeah. That's why Plappy's at altitude.
Yep.
What's the fight for position at altitude like?
It's real nice. I ride by myself, and I have a 40k highway to get from the bottom to the top to move up when I need. I'm just dodging on toboggans at the moment.
What's the training week going to look like, Puppy? Are we talking volume? Is there intensity in there?
First week, big volume, real easy, like nothing over 150 beats for the first week. Second week, you sort of nudge into zone 3.
All day, every day, just volume.
Yeah, for the first week, just to get adapted. Second week, you sort of nudge into zone 3. And then last week, you turn it on and start doing some efforts.
Dylan Van Baal came second in 2022.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
But second form's not always great form. Mazzato from Arkea came second in 2024.
Yeah, and it's also 2022.
Yes. I find the year before, who's done well with this race before, horrible form. That's the opposite to back legs, not names.
Enjoy altitude, Plappy. Who have we got this week?
We have the Gold Coast Suns.
Here?
Here.
Okay. But Track's injured. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Enjoy, Puppy.
Ciao.